What's going on? I'm Charlotte Chipperfield, and in this episode of the Social Lounge, we're talking all about 5 ways in which you can empower your social media team. No matter if your social media team consists of 1 individual or 10 plus people, having a detailed social media strategy and workflow will empower your team to own your social media and see results. So, how do you empower your social media team? Let's dive into the 5 tips to help you do just that. And at the end of this video, I'll give you a free download to further assist your team to social media success. My first tip for empowering your social media team is to establish brand guidelines. So make sure everyone has a clear understanding of how your company shows up online. This can be accomplished by creating a brand book or a styles guide that is a Google shared document or a Word document that everyone has access to, and it outlines things like your brand colors, your fonts, the language you use, maybe the language you don't use. For example, if you're a very funky, edgy brand, then you might be using swear words on your social media, you might be using slang, where for a more luxury brand, you're not going to be using swear words, you're not going to be using slang, and you're probably not even going to be using abbreviated words. So making sure that everyone has this outlined in one document will really help streamline your workflow and will make sure there's no ambiguity around your brand's personality, and each message will be of high value and on brand. Tip number 2 is to establish goals and strategies. This should be done on an annual, quarterly, and monthly basis. It's very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of social media, and it's really important to take that step back to look at your overarching strategy. So make sure that you carve out time that's dedicated to your strategy and to your goals. The third tip is to establish a social media workflow. And start by asking yourself, what does our current social media workflow look like? From strategy to execution. Who's responsible for writing the copy? Who's responsible for the images? Who's outlining the advertising spend? Who's responsible for community management? Who's responsible for the metrics? I think you get the idea. By establishing a workflow from start to finish, this outlines each person's responsibility so there is never a misunderstanding on who's checking those notifications or scheduling those posts. This will ultimately help your team be more established and better serve your community. Tip number 4 is to automate what you can. And yes, I'm a big proponent of everyone owning their social media and really knowing what's happening each step along the way. But that doesn't mean that you need to be in the weeds without the support. There are tons of different websites and applications that you can use to help edit photos, schedule posts, monitor hashtags, generate reports, even monitor followers and influencers. So establish what your top priorities are and then research the best tools that will help your team. And my 5th tip is to invest in ongoing education. It's no secret that social media is ever-changing and evolving. This is why building in dedicated time for ongoing education for your team is so important. And this can come in the form of webinars or online trainings or in-person trainings or perhaps even subscriptions to certain publications. The more that you're able to invest in your team to set them up for success, the more ROI on your social media you will see. I hope you found these tips helpful in streamlining your social media workflow. And as promised, you can find the link below to our social media checklist, which provides even more tips than we provided here today. It also includes best practices for social media and a list of recommended tools. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, share with your colleagues and friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.